Welcome to Business Review, a daily program that delves into the latest and most significant economic stories. From stock markets to currency news, Business Review covers the most up-to-date developments in the global financial world.
Wall Street advanced on Friday, pushed higher by technology stocks, with the S&P 500 on track for its sixth record closing high since confirming a bull market on August 18th. The gains also put the Nasdaq on a course for an all-time closing high and pushed the blue-chip Dow into positive territory for the year. The S&P 500 is close to wrapping up its best August in 34 years. All three major U.S. stock indexes looked set to end the week higher than last Friday's close, marking the fifth consecutive weekly gains for the S&P and the Nasdaq. The personal consumption expenditures core index, which excludes food and energy, rose at a rate of 1.3% year-on-year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 90.71 points, or 0.32%. The S&P 500 gained 10.47 points, or 0.30%, and the Nasdaq Composite added 46.06 points, or 0.4%. Shares of Walmart and Microsoft were up 2.4% and 0.5% respectively. Advancing issues outnumbered declining ones on the NYSE by a 1.79 to 1 ratio. On Nasdaq, a 1.41 to 1 ratio favored advances.
Japan's equity benchmark Nikkei stock average plunged during Friday afternoon trading following news of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's plan to resign due to his worsening health. The Nikkei index dropped over 600 points, or 2.6% at one point, to 22,594, hitting its lowest intraday level since August the 7th. A broad sector of company stocks fell: retail, electronic devices, services, and telecom. The yen, which had been trading at about 106.70 to the dollar before the news hit, strengthened to about 106.11. Shares managed a rebound shortly after their sharp decline, with the Nikkei index closing 326 points lower on the day as investors awaited Abe's announcement for more details. Falling stocks outnumbered advancing ones on the Tokyo Stock Exchange by 2,762 to 819, and 132 ended unchanged.
French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire said on Thursday, August 27th, France's economic contraction in 2020 could end up being less than the 11th% currently forecast, thanks to a strong recovery in recent months. Le Maire said state-subsidized furloughs had helped boost consumer spending after France emerged from a 2-month coronavirus lockdown in May, fueling a rebound since then. Speaking at the MEDEF, Employees Association's annual end-of-summer conference, he added that he would update the forecast in coming weeks when the government publishes its 2021 budget. In the latest evidence of France's recovery, business confidence rebounded in August to its highest since it went into lockdown in March, despite a resurgence of new infections, a monthly survey from the INSEE Statistics Agency showed on Thursday.
The corona pandemic crisis are deepening the wounds of the economic collapse in the Gaza Strip. Several economic sectors in Gaza today have closed their economic facilities or stopped their businesses completely, in light of the authorities imposing a state of complete closure as part of their measures to prevent the spread of the virus. Among the most prominent sectors that are now shut down are tourism, restaurants, hotels and wedding halls, transportation, commercial centers, malls and industries.
اليوم انعكاسات خطيرة لإنتاج إغلاق وشلل.
Today, serious repercussions are the consequence of the closure and paralysis of daily life in Gaza, including restaurants, tourist facilities, companies, and daily workers. We are losing thousands of job opportunities because of this new reality. We are also talking about a serious decline in purchasing power, as well as serious decline in revenue for the government institution, which will negatively affect its performance and commitment in relation to employee salaries and government services.
The state of closure in turn will lead to an increase in the indicators of unemployment and poverty, which reached before the corona crisis and with the beginning of 2020 to 52%. The Gaza Strip, where more than 2 million Palestinians live, suffers from extreme poor economic and living conditions as a result of the ongoing Israeli blockade.
في ظل جائحة كورونا
In light of the corona pandemic and the restrictions imposed for fear of spread of this pandemic, the humanitarian situation is deteriorating every moment and has reached unprecedented rates in terms of high rates of poverty, unemployment, and food insecurity. And this does not only affect the quality of life in the Strip, but extends to the loss for many of their livelihoods and complete deterioration of the economic situation.
The internal tourism sector in Gaza has been completely affected since the first closure imposed to prevent the spread of corona, according to the head of Restaurants and Hotels Authority in the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Chamber of Commerce and Industry estimates that 15 to 20,000 workers lost their jobs due to the corona crisis. Since the beginning of the preventive measures to prevent the spread of corona, 80% of the transport and communication sectors in Gaza have been paralyzed. As the stopping of universities and schools, the failure of employees to go to their work headquarters and work remotely, the suspension of institutions, and the decrease in the movement of citizens, reasons that led to the paralysis of the transportation sector. In the same context, the productivity of other commercial and industrial sectors have decreased in varying proportions, whereas in this crisis, no one thinks about buying clothes or stationery, or some types of electrical appliances. This trend is experiencing a kind of stagnation.
Gaza is in complete lockdown because of the spread of the coronavirus in the community. All shops and restaurants are now closed, and people are at home, heeding by the authorities' advice. For KTV2, this is Business Review Program, Yumna Syed, Gaza, Palestine.
The rapid development of South China's Shenzhen city as a sub-provincial level special economic zone, also known as the SEZ, over the past 4 decades has demonstrated China's determination to keep forging ahead with the drive for reform and opening up the country. Shenzhen, a coastal city in South China's Guangdong province, became one of the pioneers of the country's reform and opening up. Once a small village, Shenzhen has evolved into a metropolis through rapid development over the past 4 decades. Since 2012, it is through Qianhe mode that Shenzhen has attracted many modern high-tech industries to take root and blossom there. In the fields of 5G technology, metamaterials, gene sequencing, 3D display, and new energy vehicles, the city's innovation capabilities have already equaled the world's best. By July 2019, Shenzhen's research and development input surpassed 4% of its gross domestic product, and the number of national-level high-tech enterprises in the city reached 14,400, with over 60 international patents granted on a daily basis. According to a document, by 2025, Shenzhen will have become one of the leading cities in the world in terms of economic strength. Its research and development input, industrial innovation capacity, and quality of its public services and ecological environment will be ranking top in the world. That's according to the Chinese document.
This has been Business Review, your daily source for the most critical financial stories. Tune in next time for the latest financial news impacting the world economy.